When it comes to puree potatoes, there are two main keys to success here. The first being start with cold water. Starting by boiling your water and then adding your potatoes to the pot causes the outside of the potato to cook at a quicker rate than the center. And by the time the inside is cooked all the way through, the outside is overcooked and you're going to start losing all those important starches in the potato. The second key to success is having your cream and your butter warmed, just to the point of when you see a little wisp of steam from the surface area. Now let this sit at the lowest setting on your stovetop while we start with our filling. I'm going to make a bit of a hybrid shepherd's pie here by using 1 pound of ground beef, 1 pound of ground lamb, and some Wagyu beef tallow for added flavor. But feel free to use 2 pounds of any ground meat of your choice. Just make sure that it's not super lean. I recently discovered a kitchen life hack and I couldn't wait to try it out. So without further ado, the potato masher, which I find funny because we're not going to be using this for our pureed potatoes, but instead it makes a great tool for breaking up your meats. Now that the potatoes are about 95% cooked, I'm going to drain them out and let the steam finish the cooking process for me. In full disclosure, a potato ricer would be the best tool for the job here, but mine is packed away in a moving box somewhere and I'm being a little bit too lazy today to go looking for it. So I'm using a food mill with the smallest die that I have. This is going to take much longer than a potato ricer, but it will do the same job. Only add about half of your warm cream and butter at first and mix it with a rubber spatula until all the cream has been absorbed by the potatoes. Now let's add our sour cream and fully incorporate it before adding the remaining cream. Do not add all of the cream at once, because if you do, you may end up with too loose of a puree. And on the flip side, you may find that you need more than the amount of cream we warmed up. So add some additional sour cream if you need to get that nice consistency that's spreadable, but still stiff at the same time. Now once I've bagged my puree, I'm going to place the bag tip side up in a bowl of warm water until I'm ready to use it. What when our ground meat is fully cooked, I'm going to drain it off, but I want to reserve a little bit of fat to sweat my vegetables with. The story goes the Norman Conquest, an English invasion into Ireland led by William the Conqueror, aka William the Bastard. Prior to being known as the Bastard, he went by the Duke of Normandy, hence the Norman Conquest, or better known in Ireland as the Norman Invasion. This would be the last English conquest to date, and they played the long game. From its start in 1066, it wasn't until 1541 before England had full control of the island. And at some point, without doing an entire essay on this, the island was divided into two regions, with the north being predominantly Protestant English sympathizers and the south Catholic Ireland for Irish mentality. And wars would continue until 1921, when both parties agreed to a ceasefire and an agreement was made that England would remain in control of the northern part of the island and Ireland would have to retain the British monarchy, and it's been that way ever since. Now, with all that being said, the shepherd's pie is said to originate in Northern Ireland, born of the marriage between the popular Irish potato farms and the English cattle influences.
1001. 0110.
Cooking for a lot of us is based on what we have on hand or what we can afford to buy at the store. So if you want to use frozen vegetables for this, that is totally fine. Just remember to add the frozen peas at the very end because they don't take long to be fully cooked, and if you add them too early, they will be a mushy mess.